have arrived in Myrtle Beach. This is one of the smallest airports I've ever been to. How was the ride?
Rough. Little rough.
It was a little bumpy. It was good. I've been reading this new book. It's called Die with Zero. I'd recommend it. It's basically how to optimize spending the money for your life. Because if you think about it, most people have their highest net worths when they're in their 80s. However, that's when they're basically least able to do anything. So it kind of suggests really actually spending a lot of your money in your 20s and 30s and like not over saving so you can have life experiences and do stuff. And that got me thinking, like, should I go windsurfing while I'm here? I've always wanted to do that. I've been putting it off. So we'll see how that goes. But tonight's plans are to see my family. We're gonna get dinner at this cool Thai restaurant we've been to before and just enjoy the rest of the day. So we're at the resort we're staying at in Charleston. I decided at the front desk last minute to upgrade to the ocean view for an extra $30 a night. I felt like that was worth it. So let's go give you the room tour here. So first we have the bathroom, got a TV, 2 chairs, king size bed. But really what we upgraded for was the balcony. So this is the private beach that is for the resort. We have the pool, and then over here, that is actually the outdoor bar that's open till like 12 a.m. every single night. So look forward to doing that. And you can't see now, but this is all ocean. So I'll show the view tomorrow morning. What do you think of it, Becca?
I like it.
Yeah? Feeling good? You said it reminded you of Disney.
A little bit.
Why?
It reminds me of one of the hotels there.
What hotel?
Yacht Club.
Okay. Well, I guess those of you who know about Disney can tell me in the comments whether or not it actually is Yacht Club, but it's pretty cool. I mean, look, if you look at this headboard detail, it's actually painted on, which is pretty cool. Becca, say hi.
Hi.
All right, we just ate in this restaurant here. It overlooks this view. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. We're gonna go onto the beach now. All right, Becca, question. Should we move to South Carolina or Jersey?
I already live in Jersey.
Which one's better?
I like it here.
Why?
It's nicer, it's warmer.
Feel the breeze? It is warmer. Yeah.
I like palm trees.
Yeah. Or would you rather live in Charleston?
I'd be fine with either.
We're on our way to Charleston today. It's a straight 2-hour drive from Myrtle Beach to Charleston. So we'll go there, skip checking in, go right to King Street, which is like the main street with all the nice shops and stuff. I ruined my pants completely by having turmeric shots in my luggage, and I ruined like half my clothes. So now I gotta go shopping. So right now we're at Joyland, which is this awesome fried food place, and they have gluten-free chicken, which I'm gluten-free, so you could probably hear the banging in the background. That's because there's a club right next door that we're gonna go to. But I can tell you what, I got this nice gluten-free fried chicken. I guess it's turning into a food vlog. That's so good. Pre-fuel for the club. Right, we are back. We just had a great breakfast. So her and I are gluten-free, dairy-free. We found this place with perhaps the best blueberry muffins I ever had that tastes exactly like it. You may not understand the struggle if you're not gluten-free, but it is rough to find stuff that tastes really good. What did you think of it?
It was really good.
It was really good. Right now, we're at Shem Creek in Charleston, which is this like huge open pavilion. And out there you can see the ocean. There's actually sailboat racing, which is pretty cool. But you just see all this grassland, which is really nice. There's a bunch of fine dining and restaurants as well. But after this, we're gonna be going to, I think it's the oldest tree in America. If it's not, yeah, I think it's the oldest tree in America, called Angel Tree. And it's supposed to be huge as well and very pretty. So we'll be hitting that up after this, but it's pretty cool. All right, just drove 30 minutes. We're out now at Angel Oak Park. Super remote, super pretty. I'll show you from this way. I'll show you the actual tree. So it's all this super nice mossy trees, and then this bad boy. The oldest tree in the U.S. It's huge. The tree is 400 years old. What are your thoughts? So we saw this beautiful house. It's gorgeous. I just looked it up. We found it on Zillow. $8.5 million. But it is beautiful. The one to the right of it is $5 million, or left of it with the orange roof is $5 million. I don't know if it's worth it, but it is super sick. I'm down with my mother. I want to ask her a few questions. We haven't really too formally talked about this. It's been a while. About my journey with Airbnb and your thoughts on it, because I remember in the beginning it was not, you weren't the most optimistic. You're definitely worried about it.
I was very supportive.
Supportive, but worried for sure. So I guess when I first told you I was getting my first property and I was going into Airbnb, what were your thoughts and feelings at the time? This is like 4 years ago.
Fear, and did you know what you were getting into? I was thinking of all the things that could happen. If it doesn't work out, you being sued, making sure you're protected. And the biggest thing I was concerned about was if you don't rent it out enough, you are still responsible for the rent. Can you afford the rent? And that was my biggest thing. Do you have enough money that you can pay this if you don't rent it out and you're still okay?
Yeah, well, my first deal was co-hosting, so I wasn't even renting it. So it was impossible for me to lose money because I was doing a profit share with the owner. It was impossible. I think I remember though you saying that like you couldn't go to sleep though for like a week.
I was very nervous.
My
I'm a typical mother.
Yeah.
Very protective. I was very nervous, but I knew you were really focused and you did a lot of research. So I was very impressed with all that. But it still doesn't make it easier. I'm nervous.
Hoping for the best.
And I just wanted to make sure you knew what you were doing and this wasn't just a fly-by thing.
From when I was a kid, did you think that I was going to have my own business later?
I would say yes. You were always entrepreneur-like. From a little kid, you were always making stuff, trying to invent stuff.
Well, I did leaves. I did shoveling snow.
You were into trying to learn how to sell things.
So
obviously,
I sold a lot of
later in life, the sneaker business.
Yeah.
But early on, at school, like people looked at you as a leader in elementary school. I remember that, and you made a huge change in the school with the school menu, which was a big deal. And
I got Subway on the school menu.
And the invention I always remember is, Mom, you seem to have a serious bee problem. I've created something, and you had a drawing, which I've kept somewhere.
Like a bee problem?
A bee problem, bumblebee problem. And you drew a prototype of what you would make to solve my problem, which was an artificial flower that when a bee would land on it, it would spray them with a repellent that would kill them.
I didn't even know. I forgot about that.
And I was like, wow.
I didn't even think about
that. So, yeah, you always had that in you. You were always talking about inventing things and changing things.
When I said I was quitting my job, my high-paying, high-benefits, 401k, health insurance, 6-figure corporate job, what were your thoughts when I told you I quit?
Well, first, I was very proud. Ron and I were very proud that you kept succeeding in beating your quotas. You were doing amazing.
I was number 2 at the company.
And I kept asking you, do they know you have this side gig? And you said,
they did.
Oh, they did. And they were supportive. And I remember when you won that award, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and he's going to quit his job. But what I kept saying was, and at the time you were prior to that, living at home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want you at that point to move out unless you had $15,000 saved. To me, that was so important that you had a cushion to cover expenses. Then when you and I talked about this and you did your Excel presentation to me about how much money you would need to make in order for you to quit your job.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, if you're going to do that, it needs to replace your income, and you got to prove you're going to be able to steadily be able to replace your income and not just drop off because you were doing so well. And not everybody succeeds, right?
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you are at the right timing. And I know you were going thin with your energy and everything, spreading yourself thin.
It was a hard year. It was a hard year. Do you remember me telling you the beginning of the year that you weren't going to see me? Remember that?
Much, yes. You told all of us at Christmas.
I told everybody at Christmas.
At Christmas, and he said,
What did I say?
just so you all know, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on my business this year, this hyper-focus, to get it to the level I want, so I won't be seeing much of it.
I set the expectation that you weren't going to see me that year. I mean, because I worked basically all day, every day, because I would do my 9 to 5, and then I would do Airbnb, and I was setting up units like every other weekend, driving like 4
Yep.
hours to set up units.
And no, most people would not understand or appreciate what you sacrificed. You sacrificed life. You're working a full-time job, and as soon as you clocked out of that, you're on the phone working on your side business till late at night,
Yeah, I
or
scaled
going to the library.
I went
working.
from 1 to 19 properties in 1 year.
That was a
1
lot
to
of work.
19 properties in 1 year. And so all I was doing was working. I took a brief break in the summer, but then I went back into October and I kept going it, and then I quit my job the next year.
What I think you've done, other people need to look at for themselves, is you put the money in the bank, you saved it, you didn't just instantly start spending all the money that's coming in,
Yeah.
and you didn't take any money, I think it was
No,
for
the
2
first
years.
the first year,
First
the
full
entire first year, I just reinvested into scaling, and I didn't take a single dollar. So yeah, I worked all these hours, did all this, but didn't pull out any money,
Pull out any money.
which
and
is
that takes
annoying
up-
because you're seeing it all go in, and then it's all
But
going
that was
out.
to pay off
and,
debt. So when you do this,
Yeah.
that's the part I was scared to death. Every time I'd pick up the phone and you'd say, "Oh, yeah, I just."
What was funny was that my boss at the time, on my 9 to 5, was like, "Oh, I know you're going to succeed because you need the money to pay for the Airbnbs to build."
To build.
He was like, "So you need to make money here." So I mean, I needed to make money anyway, but yeah, I did really well at the company despite doing
Despite
this as
all
well,
this,
doing
which
both
is
at once.
trying to
Both
exactly
at once was tough.
very tough, but very impressive. Trying to pay off the debt for furnishings and everything you needed for these units in 13 months. I don't know of anyone that would actually do that. And when you did that, I knew you're going to be okay. You're going to make it on your own
Well,
because you know how to do this.
There
and
was a
how-
period, some point in that year, where I was $80,000 in debt, and I was not 100% sure how well it was going to work. I was like, 90% sure, but it was 10%
Yeah.
that it could totally go bankrupt, or like it wouldn't have worked because I wasn't experienced as much at the time. But it worked out.
It worked out, and you
took,
know what?
Took the risks.
If you don't take the risk, and if you did fail, that was still better than not succeeding,
Yeah.
because most people don't even take the risk.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a high risk tolerance.
Yes,
I
you
think.
always have.
I always had a high risk tolerance. Sometimes too much for you.
Mostly in this business.
Yeah.
The sneaker business wasn't bad.
Well, there
but when
was
you
no
were real
risk
young,
in-
I was nervous in the sneaker
No,
business.
there was very little risk in the sneaker business.
I know, but you didn't have money, and you're buying expensive sneakers
Buying and selling.
on credit, thinking, "Well, I'm going to be able to sell those."
Buying and selling. No, I actually use my cash.
Yeah,
I use my cash, but yeah.
but very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
You've done an amazing job. You've succeeded. Everything that we thought you can even accomplish. So
Yeah.
very proud.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too. I gotta buy you a golf cart one day.
The dream.
Eventually.
The
Oh,
dream.
unless you buy it for yourself first, then. I
No,
guess then I
that's
won't
not
get
on
it.
the bucket list right now.